My name is Catherine and I'm 8 years old. And my question is, why are humans and robots similar?
My name is Bilge Mutlu. I'm an associate professor of computer science at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I also direct the Wisconsin Human-Computer Interaction Lab, where we develop technologies for human use and build principles and methods to design them better. Robots can be similar to people, but they aren't necessarily similar to people. We make them, so we can make them to be similar. We can make them not to be similar. There are some benefits that you get out of similarity. We generally want to make our environment similar to us, familiar to us. We work better with things that are familiar, and things that are familiar kind of jumpstart our sense-making of them. So it's easier to make sense of things that are familiar to us. Anything that we try to do that tries to replicate human behavior, we find that is very, very complex. Things can be broken down into more commonly used elements such as speech and eye contact and my distance to the robot. And we can work on those specific design elements. That's the good news. The bad news is that trying to replicate human behavior in the exact sense is a very, very challenging task. So what we try to do is that we try to identify patterns that humans display and try to replicate those patterns. So it's not an exact human behavior, but it's human-like behavior. Uncanny Valley is when a representation, it doesn't have to be a robot, it could be characters in a movie, it could be something else. When a representation is designed to look human-like and it's very close to human-like, but not quite right. It's very close, but it is just short of being human-like that it starts looking very creepy. Our goal right now, in relation to Uncanny Valley, is to how do we provide the kinds of benefits that robotics technology can provide without sort of falling into the valley and eliciting these kinds of negative feelings about robots. I personally think that robots have tremendous promise. We first saw computers in this century, then we saw the internet. I think the robotics and robots is sort of the next big jump where you bring in physicality into the equation. A computer can't bring you something if you're in need, a robot can. And just with the embodiment itself, you get a lot of additional benefits, engagement, social presence. So there are all these kind of really interesting and very unique benefits and functionalities that we can bring into the world of technology, into the human world, that there's just tremendous promise that really excites me.